Hello everyone, Jody from Oregon e-bikes, and today I'm going to decode some of the choices that you'll have to make when ordering a Riese Müller e-bike. Now, one of the blessings of a Riese Müller e-bike is that you do have the opportunity to really build it from the ground up, which does tend to overwhelm sometimes in terms of the number of things that you can choose on your own and figure out what spec is going to be the best for you. The first that we'll dive into is the shifting system. This is a tough decision, and you've got three of them to make. First is the touring model. If you see touring, that denotes that it comes with a traditional chain and derailleur setup. Next, we have the Vario and the Rohloff. The Vario and the Rohloff both come with a Gates carbon belt drive instead of a chain, and you've got a couple of key differences between those two drivetrains. The first, we'll take the Enviolo. Super smooth. It's a continuous hub gearing system, meaning that you don't have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stepped gearing system. It's just along a continuum. And as you're shifting or going with the Enviolo, you're rolling your grip shift just little minute or a little bit more, but it's a very smooth shifting. With the Rohloff, this is an electronic hub. It has 14 gears, which is a huge range. You've got a higher high gear and a lower low gear than you see with either the Vario or the touring models. It's also super smooth because with the electronic gearing housed internally, you can just click down, click back up, and it's very intuitive and bomber to use. Which one might you choose for yourself? If you're used to the tried and true chain and derailleur system, there is absolutely nothing wrong with the touring version, and it's a great system all around. If you'd like the smoothest opportunity, my recommendation would be the Enviolo. It's just got those minute adjustments that you can make, and the rhythm of it is really fun for the ride. And if you're looking for the cream of the crop as far as gearing range, maybe you've got some super steep hills to contend with, and you're also into the electronics versus wiring, then I would go with the Rohloff. It is an awesome system. Okay. One of the next big decisions you'll make is what display you'll choose for your e-bike. There are 4 different displays from Bosch, ranging from super sleek and small like the Purion to really sophisticated like the new Nion display. If you're into that sleek and small, the Purion is your way to go. It's a super easy to use, really intuitive right by your left hand, and you can just click up into the different levels of assist. Next up would be the Kiox, which is still pretty small but does enter the color-coded realm and has a few more pieces of info that you can gain from it. And finally, Bosch has introduced the new Nion display. Is even more sophisticated than the Kiox with a touch screen, a larger screen, so you can really see at a glance different pieces of data and also what level of assist you're in. Whether you are wanting to keep track of your mileage or your speed or really gain navigation, each of these systems offers something different. In most of Riese Müller's models, they've done a fantastic job of designing a bike that allows you to go on-road and also off-road on mixed surface like gravel, forest roads, and some bikes even technical single track. You do have an option whether you'd like to go more towards the on-road priority or the off-road riding, and that's what Riese Müller calls the GX option. In this Nevo, for example, this would be the non-GX option, just the standard slick tire that's awesome for road riding, super smooth, but this could also handle well on some packed gravel or forest roads. If you do want a little bit more beef to your tires and also your shocks, that's where the GX option comes in handy. With the GX option, you end up with a knobby tire, and you also end up with more travel in your front suspension. Finally, some models also offer an air suspension upgrade, like this Fox shock here on the D-Lite Mountain. If you're really looking for a smooth, cream of the crop suspension system, the air suspension upgrade is a great option. On certain Riese Müller models, you have the option for a couple of decisions that might make your riding a little more comfortable. The first is what Riese Müller calls the comfort kit, which you can see on this Roadster Mixte versus this Roadster high bar. The comfort kit offers a handlebar that's more swept back, leading you to allow a little bit more of an upright riding position, where the non-comfort kit or the standard option comes with more of a flat bar. The other opportunity in some of Riese Müller's models is the Mixte Frame, which you can see here on this Roadster Mixte, which offers a mid-step frame, allowing for an easier leg over or mount and dismount. An important decision to consider with your Riese Müller is battery configuration. Most Riese Müller models have the option of a couple, at least, different battery configurations, depending on what your priorities are. Here I would consider range, weight, and also battery life. In theory, if you have more battery power or two batteries, you'll be charging each of those batteries fewer times and therefore extending both of their lifespans. We'll take this Nevo first. This, with a 625 Powertube battery, saves on a little bit of weight by a single battery system, but still beefy enough to get you a lot of miles with that 625. Next, this Charger 3 Mixte has a dual battery configuration that's optional. It comes standard with a 625 Powertube battery like the Nevo, and then you can add a 500 watt-hour rack battery that allows for a total of 1125 watt-hours, huge amount of range possibility. Then we step into the Supercharger and the Super D-Lite, which comes standard with two dual Powertube batteries. With this Supercharger, for example, you have the option of two 500 watt-hour power tubes or two 625 watt-hour power tubes for a whopping 1,250 watt-hours. This would be your touring exploration tool. Your last task when building your own Riese Müller e-bike is to figure out what accessories you'd like to add. Luckily, with Riese Müller bikes, they do come with a lot of a head start in that department. So you have integrated lights. The high-speed models will come with a mirror already installed in your handlebar. But if you're looking for a little bit of extra cargo space, you might opt for the front carrier and maybe even add the bag with it. And if you're looking for a little extra security, you might add the additional chain lock with your bag that can conveniently fit into your cafe lock. This Multicharger and the other cargo bikes in the Riese Müller lineup also have a ton of different customization options on the cargo side. With this Multicharger, you see the passenger kit or the safety bar kit as well. You can put passengers on there. And the load with the front loading box has a ton of options on its own. Regardless of whether you're going on multi-day trips, tackling that commute, or just tootling around on your Riese Müller e-bike, we are ready to help you customize.